Well, greetings, everybody. Good morning, good day. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. So, next Friday, August 23rd through the 25th, we will have our 7 chakras retreat. This retreat will be particularly helpful for those of you on this Kundalini path. It is so important to have an understanding of the chakra centers. So helpful. And I think we'll just transition into the teaching here. But let's see. I think there's a couple new folks in the room, and so with this group, I'll offer a teaching the next half hour or so. Then we'll have sharing time and holding space for each other for a half hour, and then at the top of the hour, we'll do questions. And so save your questions for the top of the hour. Okay. So throughout this path of awakening, this energy, which is so very persistent in us. This thing called Kundalini that is trying to force its way and force a path of awakening upon you. Well, that's a gift, but we might not always view it as a gift. We might view it as a difficulty. And if we ever view this path of awakening as a difficulty, it's because we are lacking some level of understanding. And the greatest understanding that we are lacking is that the Kundalini, this very light, is us. It is our primordial nature. And it's this nature giving birth through this being, through this body. And it's wanting to become manifest in 7 different ways. Or 7 different ways are the intelligences of the 7 chakra centers. So when we complain on the path, it is almost always because 1 or 2 or maybe 7 of the chakra centers are clogged or blocked, or we are identifying with those centers in their lower form, their lower manifestation. And so let's take one of my favorite human manifestations. One of my favorite human manifestations is anger and rage. Now, anger and rage is often a distorted expression of our power in the 2nd and 3rd chakra centers. So when we have anger and rage on this path, it simply means that our 2nd and our 3rd chakra centers are closed, or they are open in an egoic way, and we are identified with these 2 centers in an egoic way. And the ego has this primary intelligence, primary understanding that I am separate from reality. Now, a higher manifestation of this is, the intelligence of the spirit, which is I am reality. I am reality. Now, when you feel separate from reality, you should feel anger and victimhood. You literally should feel that if you identify on the level of ego. Any way we identify with ego, you should feel separate, and you should feel outside, and you should feel less than. You should feel not enough. You should feel that I need to complete myself outside of myself, through having a great job, a great career, a great partner, a big house. But as we come into alignment with the truth, we begin to recognize that I am power. I am fullness. I am a unity consciousness. And I don't need to be completed by some knight in shining armor or some princess who's going to come save me, one or the other. Like, I'm not going to be completed outside of myself. I am completed through the recognition of my own divinity. And so on this next retreat, we're going to go through the 7 chakra centers, and we're really going to investigate them and look at the specific blockages for each specific center and how to heal and be on a path of growth and evolution instead of being on a path of being all blocked up and the Kundalini's fighting with our humanity, and it creates this big war that so many of us have experienced within ourselves, of feeling pressure and intensity and, like we're going to die and be annihilated and all this silly stuff that our ego gets involved in, that the ego gets involved in. And so let's all do this. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And like we do each week, we're going to scan our body and just begin by welcoming a relaxation throughout the body, throughout the nervous system. And from a place of humility, let us call upon heavenly support, heavenly guidance. Let us call upon support to bring us into alignment in the truth, helping us to be open and mindful of our growing and evolving edge. And so we set our intention here in the beginning, just to soften, to relax, begin to breathe. And in the world of our ego, we tend to identify with the character, the story in our head, the story in our mind, the story of the personality. In the next little while, I'm going to invite us just to let go of this story, to let go of this story, this identity, just to gently let go of that, to unhook from it. And with that, I'm going to invite you to descend, inviting your consciousness to descend down into the root chakra, and just breathing here in the root. And so we are strategically choosing to let go of our personality, sense of self as an identity, and choosing to come down into this very quiet place in the root. And I invite you just to imagine there being a seed of consciousness in the root. And before that seed begins to grow up along the spine, I'm going to invite that seed to begin to crack open with light and to grow down into the earth, literally making roots and rooting in. So seeing this energy grow down the right leg and the left leg, and out the bottoms of the right foot and the left foot. And growing down deeper and deeper into the earth. I'm going to invite you to imagine that your roots growing all the way down, right into the crystalline core of the earth, so deep in the earth, connecting to this magnificent sense of power, magnificent sense of strength comes with this feeling. I don't have to do life all by myself. Inviting the consciousness of the earth, the energy of God in form, beginning to flow up through the roots into the body, empowering you in a way where we no longer feel like me against the world, but rather we feel as if I am the world. There's tremendous support here, tremendous power, tremendous strength and nobility. And from this perspective, it's not even possible for us to feel as if we are doing the path as an isolated egoic identity. We come to recognize that God is doing the path. Life is doing the path. That you are life. So you may begin to feel this shift in consciousness. You feel this greater non-dual reality flowing up through the roots, stabilizing the first chakra center, and creating almost like this feeling of being a power generator. Immense light. Immense light. But it's earthly light, empowered light. A light that feels as if it's mixed with matter itself. Has a weight and a substance behind it. And inviting this energy to begin to naturally flow upward, coming into the hara, and inviting it to burn up and heal any illusions we have in the hara, any confusions. Sometimes, again, we have these feelings in the hara, which can feel very human. Normally have to do with relationship and intimate relationship and pain and isolation, abandonment, all this kind of stuff. But we're just inviting the hara to be overwhelmed with this feeling of light and support. Clearing the hara. Any wounding from the past in regards to intimate relationships or being betrayed or being hurt by family members or close friends. Whatever it is. Sometimes it's just a deficiency of our own power, but in this moment, we're inviting great power to come online. Flowing up through the heart. So the feet, the legs, pelvis, lower abdomen. Full of this quality of Buddha nature. The ground of being. And if you notice the ground doesn't complain. Doesn't say I'm hurting. The ground is both the doer and the receiver in this immense and unified way. The ground creates the rain and it receives the rain. So really inviting this harmonizing strength to come online. The first and second chakra centers. And you see that this strength and this harmony, this Buddha nature, wants nothing more than to expand. So it expands upward to the third chakra center. Just inviting the third chakra center to be open, receptive. Sometimes the third chakra center can be blocked. Again, with a personal sense of will or fighting against reality, fighting against life, fighting against matter, fighting against a boss, or fighting, being political and arguing and correcting, all that nonsense. And so we're going to invite this ground of being to come up and gobble up our personal sense of self, letting it know it's okay. We can put down the fight. We don't need to solve anything, fight against anything. Inviting this immense force of light to come up into the third chakra center. Bringing forth great strength, great harmony, great relaxation, this mix of strength and harmony and relaxation, trust that all is well. Maybe little bits of the mind coming forward that wanting to correct life or fix life. Again, we're opening and simply trusting. This great immensity of being. Inviting this energy to stabilize the root, the hara, the solar plexus, creating this column of light, this anchoring of divinity. And just noticing what it feels like to be you, the you that's beyond personality. The you that is simply this column of light, this immense ground. The light and the ground in no way separate. And so the ground continues to arise, begins to gobble up the heart chakra, Inviting love to more fully come online and to heal any old wounds, to forgive the past. Inviting this light and this ground to burn up any armoring that we have around the heart chakra. Sometimes we walk around insecure in our personality sense of self, and we need to really armor that. But as we come into true nature, we see, oh, I don't need armor. I am a burning, fiery light. I am the very ground of being. Nothing here to protect or defend. Personalities come and go, but I am as deep and wide. Vast and free. A radiant sun of love. So yes, continuing to breathe and open as this ground gobbles up the chest and the space of the heart, inviting the triumph of love. We breathe, as we feel, inviting this love to explode open, to expand, to overwhelm the entire chest, flowing up through the throat chakra center, clearing out any congestion, any fear, any swallowed anger. Throat chakra can really divide us if it's operating just on a human level. We're inviting this light to come forward through the throat and to bring forth a unity of love, a unity of ground through the throat, clearing out congestion in the throat, pouring into the space of the third eye. Inviting the mind be cleared of any negative belief systems, any negative thoughts, any limiting beliefs. Inviting it all to be burnt up. And unified. Forth a great, vast, non-dual unification throughout the space of the mind, expanding out into infinity. Finally, inviting this column of light to arise from the crystalline core of the earth, through the root, through the hara, through the solar plexus, through the heart, through the throat, through the third eye, pouring out the crown, emerging the ground of being with the holiness of heaven, providing a great unification, great trust in life, in God, in heaven, in the ground, in the strength, in the unity of what one is through in and throughout creation. So breathing, feeling, smiling, being brought into absolute harmony with your non-dual nature, the one without a second. And so, love is the way, truth is the way, peace is the way, the ground is all. And with this, we're going to shift gears now and move into sharing. And so I'm going to stop the recording here, but I'm going to invite you to share from your direct experience. Your direct experience of what it's like when Kundalini comes into harmony. Comes into harmony, when it's allowed to flow unobstructed. What's that like? Now, sometimes we just come and we complain in this group about how hard it is and difficult for the Kundalini, and that's human. But today I'm going to invite us to speak a little bit more fully from our divine sense of self. And, of course, if your human needs to speak, then that's welcome too. But I'm going to invite you to begin to claim your divinity, to take ownership of it. Sometimes we just give our steering wheel of our life over to our mind and let it direct us. Let's see if we can speak from a place of power and truth today. Then again, if your human self needs to go on a little rant, that's okay. We can hold space for that. But I really want us to practice as a group, claiming our truth, claiming our power, so that this energy can become more manifest and normalized in our life.